Hey, good morning, it's Owen Bigland. This is the Inside Edge video blog. Wanted to share some of my insight and some of my experience on becoming a landlord or buying an investment property and renting it out. Now, when I get a call from someone who says that I want to buy a rental property in downtown Vancouver or Richmond, if they're a first-time buyer, as far as investor goes, great. Not only am I going to help you find a place and hopefully negotiate a good price for you on the unit, but I can offer what very few other Vancouver Richmond realtors can, and that's 18, 19 years of experience of being a landlord and managing my own rental portfolio. So I thought I'd use this video blog, do a 2 or 3 minute video on just some of the key things you want to focus in on if you're deciding to buy a property as a rental or as an investment, and some of the things that I've learned over the years to help steer you in the right direction. So the first question I get is, what should I buy? I think as far as the sweet spot goes, 1 bedrooms. Now, you'll get different opinions on this. Some people will say studio apartments are good as well, but I think 1 bedrooms give you the maximum bang for your dollar. In other words, the purchase price, what you're paying for the unit compared to what you can rent it for. I think you max it out with 1 bedrooms. 2 bedrooms, not so much. You pay quite a bit more for a 2 bedroom and you don't get that same increase back as far as your rent goes. Some people will say studios give you the best bang for the dollar. It might. The only reason I don't like studios, and that's from my personal experience, is I find that the tenancy turnover is a little bit higher with studio apartments. Now, nothing wrong with buying a studio and renting it. It's just my personal opinion. I just prefer 1 bedrooms. I think that your tenants tend to stay longer in those type of units. So the next question I get is, how do I get a tenant? Well, back when I started 18, 19 years ago, it was a slow and expensive process. You had to take out classified ads. I used to run ads in the Vancouver Sun and Province. They used to have a 3-issue special. It run it in both papers simultaneously for about 140 or 150 bucks. I'd advertise in the Vancouver Courier, the Richmond News, the Richmond Review. I would say I spent probably on average $400 or $500 on classified ads. Now you don't have to worry about it. Craigslist will take care of everything for you there. Post the ad on Craigslist with some photos and some details, and you'll should get plenty of well-qualified tenants. Now, when you get someone to come out, they want to take a look at the unit. If they like them, if you like the prospect, the next step would be to fill out a tenancy application. Now, I've put together one on my own that I've used. It's a hybrid of a lot of different ones. I keep it pretty simple. It's 1 page. It's going to be a full legal name, social insurance number, your employer, your current address, your past landlord, that kind of thing. So once you get that back from your applicant, you can submit that and get a credit score. Now, to get a credit score, there's a number of companies in Vancouver that you can apply to be able to run these credit checks and get a credit score. It's a little bit of work. You've got to submit a fair bit of paperwork there. It can take probably a week to 10 days to get it, but once you do, you're able then to run credit checks. Now, I've heard of horror stories, and I know of landlords that don't do this. I think they're crazy. You always want to run a credit check. And Equifax, or the company that does it, will provide you with a chart with a beacon score, what's acceptable and what isn't acceptable. I would never put anyone in my unit if they didn't have an acceptable credit risk, and either should you. The other thing is, once you get that done, if they pass muster there, everything looks good, then you're going to want to fill out a tenancy agreement. Tenancy agreement is about a 6-page document. I usually get most of my tenants, or all of them, I sign a 1-year lease, and then after that I tend to go month to month. Signing them into a 2nd-year lease, you can do that if you want, but tenants in BC have all the rights these days. If they really want to get out of a lease, they can. So I just go 1-year lease and then month to month after that. Let's see. The other things you want to keep in mind, if it's a strata building, if it's a condo you're renting, a 1-bedroom condo, there's a couple of important forms. First off, when you sign the tenancy agreement, you want to provide that tenant with the rules and regulations and the bylaws of the strata. You have to provide that for them. And the other thing is, you want to fill out what's called a Form K. And a Form K is a rental disclosure form. You can get that from your property manager. This is super important. Make sure you fill out the Form K. All it is it's some information about your tenant, contact information that you then file with your property manager. So you want to make sure you do that. If you don't, and something happens later on with your tenant and in your unit, and you haven't filed this disclosure statement, you could be into some liability problems there, as well as with your insurance. So make sure you fill out that Form K and file it with your property management company. So those are just some of the basic things about getting a tenant, becoming a landlord. When I have an investment client that I'm working with, I usually spend about 2 hours with them. I provide them with all the forms that I use, the Form K, my tenancy application, my BC Tenancy Agreement. I can provide all that to clients that want to buy an investment property through me. So that's it. If you've got any more questions, and there's lots of other stuff to know, but if you did have any more questions on it, just feel free to call me, 604-889-1118, or reach me at Owen at owenbigland.com. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.